Prepare yourself. A lot of virginity incoming. I like to prepare you guys when you're going to get a lot of virginity, like in this particular video, which is going to be all on Synchro, the magic app from Magic Pro Ideas. Whoa. So if you are a female that's watching this and you stumble upon this video and you ever considered me to be a potential partner, please look away now. So Magic Pro Ideas is a company that makes magic apps. As I've talked about many times before, I'm not a fan of overt apps. What I mean by that are apps where you show the participants that you have something on your phone and they're aware of something special. For example, Illusionist a long time ago had this invisible deck app that I really detested. Now, Illusionist also released an app through Lloyd Barnes called Tempest, which is very similar to this app. Now, in that, what you would do is you'll be able to force a number using the clock on your watch. Now, from the very beginning, I never liked that idea, just based on forcing a number using the clock on your phone, and then you get a deck and then you deal down to that number. I always hated that. But the idea is still very novel. You have something on your phone that everybody has, which is a clock app. And using that clock app, you're able to force them onto a particular number. Now, it isn't a special app. It isn't a random number generator that you happen to have on your phone. Everybody has a clock app, so it makes sense. But to use it for anything other than something that is time related is really lame. Now, Magic Pro Ideas came out with an app called Synchro. Full disclosure, they did send me the app. I have had apps from them before. There was one that I didn't like in particular that I didn't review. However, this one I happen to like very much. I'm biased. I'm just letting you know before you decide to say that in the comment section, like, oh, wow, look at that. Obviously, you're going to give them a positive review because they send you the app for free. Shut up. There are certain things that they taught that I don't like that I'm going to mention in this video. And there are a lot of things in the app that I like very much. So keep your little stupid comments inside of your dumb brain. Speaking of berating you, check out my brand new book, The Art of the Squeal. What a great businessman I am, right? Berating you and then having you buy my book. But I'm not talking to you guys, the ones that are going to potentially purchase my book and or Synchro by Magic Pro Ideas. You guys are the cool ones. I'm talking about the nerdy ones. You guys suck. So what makes Synchro different is that you do it on their phone. Whereas with Tempest, you would be able to only perform it on your phone. With Synchro, you could perform forces on their phone. And it's not just forces. You have a lot of applications with this particular application. Now, the process in getting the app on their phone is fairly simple. I don't recommend the route of typing in on their phone. I suggest getting the NFC chip, which is something that they suggest also in the instructions. With an NFC chip, you're in and out in about 5 seconds. Now, granted, there is some action that you have to do, but it takes place in no time whatsoever. So it's going to be very easy for you to accomplish. Now, what I wish is that you were able to just hit it with the NFC chip, get into it, and that's it. But no, because of logistical issues, you have to do one more step. But it's well worth it because what you have is essentially a clock app on your phone in under 5 seconds. And the things you could perform are astronomical. Not only could you perform a force where they stop at whatever time they want and the milliseconds happen to match whatever number you want. But another great thing is that they could stop the clock whenever they want, and the sum always adds to a predetermined number. So in this case, the sum of the minutes and the milliseconds would always add up to a number that you've previously predetermined. There's also a complete coincidence effect that I thought was very interesting, where you could actually do it based on laps. So if you ever open up your clock app, you could see that you could set different laps to see different timings on things. The participant turns his back, you turn your back, you take out your phone, they take out their phone, and they're able to time it exactly so that both phones match. And it's a great visual where you turn over both phones and their laps match exactly yours, which I think is a completely impossible effect. Now, I did send them a suggestion with that, but let's see if they actually implement it into future updates. You could force pretty much any aspect of time with this. You could force an entire set of time. You could force just a milliseconds. You could force just a minute. What I like, again, with that lap feature is that you're able to force a lot of milliseconds. So in this case, one of the ideas that I had was with a phone number. So each end of the millisecond could represent your phone number. And it seems completely random because the number passes by so quick. So they could be looking at the app, they could stop it whenever they want, and it still seems like a very fair selection. They have a wonderful routine included with a bill. So in this case, you take out a dollar bill, you place it on the table, they stop whenever they want in terms of milliseconds. And it just so happens that the actual milliseconds match to the serial number on the bill. A completely impossible effect. And again, one of the possibilities with this. Now, again, yes, I don't like that because it just involves another way of using the milliseconds to force something else. But in this case, you can make it make sense. So you could turn it into a bet. You could take the dollar out, you could put it on the table, and you could tell them that you can make them stop at a particular set of seconds. So you throw it down, you have them take out the phone, you do the whole thing, and then they're actually pressing stop and you miss. And you go, ah, man, damn, all right, I couldn't get it right. And you do this for several laps. And then obviously the punchline would be that the actual milliseconds match the serial number. It's a great app. I know they sent it to me. I'm biased, but I think objectively, it's a fantastic app for what it does. I think with the ability to connect to the phone, that is something that makes this very well worth it, just for the sense of being able to take it and then essentially turn it into something that is a miracle because it's on their phone. Now, the cleanup is very simple for this particular effect because you are left dirty, but you just have to delete a certain thing on their phone and that's it. But I think the ability to do this on their phone is one of the best things that you could possibly do if you are deciding to use the classic clock as a dodge. Now, the app works on your phone. You're more than welcome to use it on your phone if you don't want to go through the trouble of actually going through and doing the actual tag on their phone. And this works on iOS and Android. Again, Android is a little bit iffy because there are different types of clocks depending on what particular software you have. But iOS, everything is pretty much universal, assuming you're part of their hive mind. So overall, I think it's great. I really do think that it's an app that you should at least consider if you are interested in what I've talked about. They do teach a bit with an any card or any number sort of style effect where, again, the milliseconds correspond to a particular position in a deck. I'm not a fan of that because there's really no way to tie that in. It just seems like a way to market to magicians going, hey, here's another A-can. Hey, here's another A-can. But other than that, it's a very fun app. You should definitely consider it. The link will be in the description section below as to where you guys can check it out. If you guys decide to pick it up, let them know that Piggy sent you. Some advice at the end of the video. I've actually taken to carrying this on me for a while now. Now, these are little notes that I've actually made out of index cards. As you can see, I actually titled it notes right there because, I don't know, I'm quite a character. And what I've done is that I've just gotten index cards, I folded them together and stapled the inside. And I've also taken the opportunity to round the corners. So now what I've made is a pocket notebook. Before I would spend a boatload on moleskin notebooks that are like 10 to 15 bucks for a pack of 3. Now these are just index cards, staplers. You round the corners off, and you're good to go. You have one that actually fits in your wallet. Look at that. Fits right in my wallet. I could just have it there. By the way, this is a pig wallet. Just a little bit of an aside here. This is a Kate Spade limited edition. Unfortunately, I didn't want people to know that I had a Kate Spade. So what I did is that I got acetone and I rubbed off the part that said Kate Spade. But I would tell people, hey, it's Kate Spade. So.
I see you again. When I see you again, 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 when I see